Hello, everyone. I welcome you to another podcast series with me. In today's episode, I would like to share with you a story from my own coaching experience. Let's call this client, let's give her a name as Karen, because on account of confidentiality, usually what I try and share is a mix of experience and also some bits of wisdom and insight so that it can help you live a more meaningful life. So, since we also have a confidentiality agreement with all our clients, most of what is shared is uh, basically from my own experiences, adding the concepts plus the information. So, even if you come across any of my blog post or these podcasts, please be assured that none of the client real personal details are never shared. That was a disclaimer. Okay, let's begin. Back to our client and the story that I was telling you. So let's call her Karen. So this girl, I've had coached her for a very long time, in fact. And the issue with her was she had a huge baggage of regret. She was very emotional, basically by nature. And the regret was something that weighed heavily on her. She carried it from her past, and the basic reason for that was her what if approach. Most of her life, anything that she did as a young Karen, she her approach was always with a question that still lingered on in her head before she came to me for coaching was what if this goes wrong, what if this goes right, what if there's a risk in it, what if it doesn't work the way I plan, what if some other error might come in, what if this obstacle does not get solved. So this what if continued for everything. And the regret was not because of what if. The regret was once she realized that because of this what if approach, she was lost. I mean, she had actually lost a lot of her young years into issues which could have been easily ignored. She used to stay very stressful even though she was quite young, but she lost on that time, and time is something that never comes back. So today, when she looks back, she felt she could have done much, much better if she had not really operated from this what if approach. Now, that's why the regret baggage came in. And once she started understanding her what if approach, constantly getting stuck in analyzing things, looking at the pros and cons, and keep evaluating it, but not taking any action. That led to not just she being stuck in it, getting stressed, getting anxious, getting confused. The whole thing then added up so much of regret. Why? Because she missed out on opportunities. She missed out on good time. She missed out on lot many things, subtle, hidden, manifested, everything. So this what if approach then led to that regret. Finally, when she came out to me for coaching, the very first thing we decided on when we planned goals for her was around this particular approach, that she had to replace it because she was stuck in analysis paralysis, where it was about for every small or big decision, or to be safe or to avoid the risk or to continuously staying on edge. So the solution we found was doing some deep dive sessions with her, and that led to a lot of discoveries. Karen, for her own self, got to learn a lot about why was she so much into being safe. Why was it that she was so risk averse? What was it that made her uh, not choose things easily, instead continue to evaluate them, get stuck in analysis paralysis, continue to seek safety, and keep on evaluating this pros and cons. So there were a lot of things that surfaced up right from her childhood and teenage years, including some real bad past experiences that had hardwired her into this. And once she became much more self aware, once she saw all the underlying underneath reasons for her seeking safety, continuously evaluating, and what is making her so much risk averse, is when she realized that where and at what juncture in her life she started this what if approach. So the first thing we were supposed to do was get her to know where it all started. What exactly was the background? I mean, how many things really led to eventually she believing in it and taking it as a limited belief and even operating out of it. Then, once we got to the root, we then designed some goals as to how this particular thing is affecting her now. And it's not been so late yet, how it is keeping her stuck, how in life she could have had now at least adopt a new and more positive and a better approach so that she unstuck herself. So while we went through a lot of deep dive sessions, it was very, very rewarding experience, I would say, for me, when I saw her going back and exploring her inner self. And while there were few very unpleasant moments as she discovered from all that she was gaining insight and exploring, but at the same time there were new learnings that came into picture. There was new wisdom that dawned upon both of us, and that's how we actually get to design some new goals as to where she was, where she is now, and exactly where she want to go. So that was, I would also say, a milestone for Karen, because that brought about a shift in the whole thing, in the way she view her own world and the world outside her. And then when she built future goals, which were without all of these what ifs and evaluations and without these confusions, is when then she had to work towards that, because setting goals and planning it is one thing, but at the same time getting into action, really moving out of our comfort zone and getting into a discomfort place even for some time, she took that courage and really brought that change, which apparently led to a very successful results. I was quite moved by the way we had. I mean, it was one of the longest coaching that I've done, and it was also one of the most rewarding one for me. Especially, I keep repeating this word because I felt, you when you see that transition happening right along with your coachee, you also learn. It's not just that the coach is just a facilitator. There's a lot that all we as coaches we get to learn while we do these deep dive sessions, and there's a lot that we get to know our own selves. So as rightly put in, that coaching is a co-creative relationship. So it was one of the most rewarding experiences which I'm sharing with you, with my audience today here. And the reason I picked this up was she has been my coachee even till today, and it's been a long journey, but we have transformed in many ways. If I look back several years back and look at now, the even when I go back and read those handwritten notes by me on this particular case, I find such phenomenal change that coaching brought inside her. And that's exactly where I feel coaching does benefit. I have my coach. When I get stuck, I reach out to my coach. So, friends, with this particular case that I had shared with you, hopefully it may also give you some insights as to sometimes when we get stuck, it's not necessary that we stay stuck all our life. We all have options. It's never like that there are no options. We do have. It's only about how we search and look out for them. we need to search, we need to explore, and for that, we can do it ourselves as well. But sometimes seeking help of a neutral third party, a coach, a counselor, a guide, a mentor, anybody, it will come handy. And believe me, you will see phenomenal changes in your own life, making it only better and not for the worse of it. Well, that's all for today. Thank you so much. I'll connect back with you in another new podcast series. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me. Thank you for being my audience, and talk to you soon.